Elspeth Wright here in the JDUC. During the busiest week on campus, we are prepping for the AMS debates, which will be going on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday for the election that takes place on January 29th and 30th. These debates are a chance for the different teams running for AMS president to get their voices heard. Let's hear what they have to say.
Okay, our three main pillars are accountability, community, and health. One of the most frustrating things as a student is the idea of having your student money, your hard-earned money, wasted. What we want to make sure is that the university, the AMS, and other student groups are held accountable within the university so that we are being represented the best we can and we're getting the resources that we deserve and pay for.
We're asking Queen's students if they're ready for change. Change in the way that the AMS represents and advocates for students. In our experience in the past few years, Unique and I have both been Dawn's, we've had a lot of interaction with first years this year. We've also been involved within the AMS and outside the AMS. But we see, in the newspapers, all over campus, there's discussions about how the AMS is just falling short in representation of students. And, the AMS really is in a lot better shape than it has been in years internally. So we feel that it's time to focus externally. It's time to make the Queen's experience better for the average student.
As Team RWS, we are the only team that is bringing to the table concrete solutions to the problems that affect students the most: student participation, sustainability, and academics. Thus far, the other teams have been citing rhetoric about the importance of communication without explaining how they will break the barrier. Citing the importance of diversity, ignoring that the issue at hand is racism, heterosexism, and other systemic oppressions, not diversity. And citing that feasible options are required for sustainability, but not citing what those feasible options are.
What we want to see as far as accountability within the AMS is more financial and fiscal responsibility for managers, for commissioners, and for anybody that deals with money or budgets in the AMS government. I think we've talked about instituting an accounting course, a financial training course, to really give the training to managers, to commissioners, to people that are dealing with money, so that they know how to deal with it, as opposed to just throwing them in a job saying, you have this much money, go. That's not really an effective or responsible way to manage the millions of dollars that students give us.
As I have experienced trying to research into the role of being in VP Ops next year, I've really found it difficult to find a lot of financial information that's not online and that's not available to the average student, as I am originally not part of the AMS really, or not really involved in the AMS. So in doing so, I had to go to a lot of different people and speak to a lot of different groups just to manage to get some of the background information necessary for this debate. So in order for, financial information to be readily available to students, I think it's important to really post the information online and even tying into our platform of having an online or having a campus media expansion project.
So I was just wondering, what do you think of the platforms overall?
It's hard to say. I think the RWS have a lot of concrete sort of steps and like three sort of foundational, I'm actually working with RWS, so that might sound a bit biased, but yeah. I think the WCW, I'm really impressed by them as well. I think that they come across quite unconceited, which is important for me. And I think that they also have some ideology of change.
The AMS is what it is because of its students, and if we can't represent them, then why are we really there? Advocacy is, what we mean by advocacy is that we want to diversify the current education that we have. Diversification of our education, meaning that we want to implement a racial and ethnic diversity certificate program, which will change the face at Queen's, demonstrating that we are listening to them and that we are working towards implementing the ideas that are currently being said by the students.
Student engagement with the issue of Frosh Week, I think, is key. A lot of Frosh feel excluded from Frosh Week, and in order to actually be able to garner and create a Frosh Week that's inclusive to everyone, it's important to receive input from students in first year. To do this, we'll establish paid feedback forums, which will provide financial incentive for students to offer feedback and their opinions on the current Frosh Week structure.
Team RWS wants to reclaim the role of advocacy the AMS is meant to play. This incorporates lobbying the administration for issues with academics and making anti-oppression a priority, for example, the city for issues like sustainability and homecoming, and the provincial government for issues like tuition. In order to do this, however, proper and appropriate representation is required. Our platform is made up of points that are in direct response to needs already voiced by students, specific ways to voice needs or initiatives we already know will require feedback.
It's funny because they all talk about how they want to be approachable and stuff, but the AMS is basically 3 letters, right? Alma Mater Society. What is that? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. You want to hold office hours? Walk by their office. Tell me when they're in there. Tell me when at first you can just walk by and say, hey, AMS president, I'm in first year. Let's sit down and chat. I mean, why? Because I'm guessing there's a lot of kids out there that felt like I did in second and third year that it just really didn't matter.
What do you think the overall student body perception is of the AMS?
I think that they appreciate the services that they offer, but don't see them as done on a professional level. And so it was interesting tonight to hear, there's 2 teams with no experience and 1 team that's actually done stuff. And I'm sort of leaning a little more towards voting for them because I think it's difficult to just show up and then start bossing people around who actually have a job that you have no idea what you're talking about. So I think the perception of the AMS is that it's a great service that is run at sort of a C plus level, and what we really deserve with all the fees that we're paying is an A level. So we're, I guess, all looking for a team that can deliver that.
Town gown relations encompass more than the issue of homecoming. Systemic classism on the part of Queen's students, as well as negative rhetoric from City Council, has created issues that simple marketing campaigns cannot fix. A VPUA who is not afraid to lobby the administration, to stand up for students, and to lead coordination on new initiatives will bring a multifaceted approach to a complex issue.
There is a bit of a miscommunication that Queen students don't matter to the Kingston community, which is completely false. Under the Municipal Affairs Commission, we have hundreds of volunteers that are Queen students that give back to the Kingston community, whether it's through Kaleidoscope or whether it's through Hype. Those are a few of the ways that we give back. So what we need to do is that we need to relay that message to students and to the city of Kingston.
Currently, I guess the relationship with the current Queen's body and with the Kingston community, as you said with the question, is not at its best. What we need to do is improve upon this relationship through just engaging with the student, with the community, and kind of changing also just the general understanding that we have with what the students have, with what we as the Queen students can provide. In terms of just engaging with them with volunteering, we also want to just change currently how we are received in terms of just the homecoming situation.
So I was just wondering if I could get just your general reaction to the debates that went on tonight.
Yeah, I kind of wish they would go on a little longer. I'm kind of fired up right now, and I had a lot of questions that I was thinking up as things are going on, and realized that there's just not enough time to answer them all. But I think it's going to be exciting to find out what happens. So, yeah, I'm excited.
And do you think that there is one team that can actually bring about change, or do you think that it's mostly empty promises being made?
It's really hard to tell just from listening to a debate, especially just like a 2-hour thing, and what people are saying, because everyone's trying to sell themselves. I feel that some teams may possibly have more empty promises than others. I don't want to express a personal bias to anything in particular, but I do believe that there are legitimate candidates out there that really do want to see things happen, and that would really do a great job in the AMS office.
So now that we've all had a chance to hear what each candidate has to say, remember to get out and vote on January 29th and 30th. Have your voice heard.